अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आप देख रहे हैं द नैरेटिव। मेरा नाम है उबैद शाह। नाजरीन, जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, गजा के हालात के बारे में फ़लस्तीन में जुल्म और बर्बरियत की एक नई दास्तान रकम की जा रही है। हमेशा से, सालों से चलती आ रही है, लेकिन अब जो मौजूदा सिचुएशन में जो कुछ वहाँ पर हो रहा है, बहुत ही अपसेटिंग वीडियोस हमारे सामने आ रही हैं। स्कूल और अस्पताल तक नहीं छोड़े गए। इसराइल की जानिब से जो ये जुल्म बर्बरियत की दास्तान रकम की जा रही है, इसी हवाले से ग्राउंड पर मौजूद हैं वफाल उदैनी हमारे साथ। उनसे हम बात करेंगे और उनसे पूछेंगे कि व्हाट एक्चुअली इज हैपनिंग देयर, व्हाट द पीपल ऑफ गाजा आर गोइंग थ्रू। थैंक यू वेरी मच उदैनी फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस इन आवर शो।
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Can you just tell us about the latest from a perspective as a journalist from Gaza? What's happening there actually?
Actually, what is happening here is really a genocide. Is being committed in a daily basis. In fact, we have been witnessing ethnic cleansing across the Gaza Strip. In fact, as the Israeli occupation coming, it didn't stop since since nearly uh, a month so far, and actually they intensified their bombing across the Gaza Strip during the recent few days. So right now, we are talking here about nearly we have more than 10,000 Palestinians have been massacred during the Israeli occupation airstrikes, along with nearly 25 or 29,000 Palestinians have been wounded and maimed during the Israeli airstrike. Like half of, nearly 70% of the casualties are from the kids and women. So, according to the Ministry of Health, they just stated many times that most of those who received in the hospitals are from the kids and from the women, from the civilians. So, in fact, we are talking here about 10,000 Palestinians have been massacred, but also we have more than 2,000 Palestinians are still under the rubble of their destroyed homes. You know that since the beginning of the Israeli attack on Gaza, actually the Israeli occupation warplanes flattened so many Palestinian homes. Nearly more than 1,000 Palestinian homes got bombed by the Israeli airstrike, killing and massacring so many families. And even there are so many families, they were wiped out of the civil registry because they just targeted the Palestinian homes indiscriminately. And even some people, they are not affiliated with any resistance factions or anything, but they targeted them. They targeted journalists. They targeted journalists' homes. They targeted workers' homes, and they targeted refugee camps. They also pumped schools, hospitals, bakeries, where the people just wait for long lines, waiting for getting bread for their families. They got bombed several times in several areas, actually. And now we are talking here also, since nearly a month, we do not have electricity at all. We do not have drinking water. So the people right now are using not potable water just to survive in this, under this brutal occupation and airstrike, in fact. So
Wafa, I'm sorry to cut you. I just want you to tell our viewers about your present situation. What are you going through specifically as a journalist? And you have told that they have targeted many journalists, and we have seen several videos also that they are attacking the schools and they are attacking the hospitals also. And we have seen, I think, there was a hospital for special people. They have also targeted that and they are demolished. So what is the international community doing? What do you really expect as a journalist from the international community, that they can do or they will do something for the Palestinians?
Mhm. Really, we are so disappointed from the international community and from the US administration and all the international countries, in fact, because they have really double standards, in fact, regarding the Palestinian issues. They dehumanize the Palestinians. They all the time they just call for respecting the human rights and like just. I mean, like what is happening on the ground here is just a violation to the international law, just like a collective punishment to the Palestinians. They, in the very beginning of this attack, they just, everyone, we hear their voices loud when there is a lie about the Palestinian resistance that they beheaded Palestinian Israeli babies, which is completely false thing because they didn't have any proof, and then we didn't hear them talking or even denying the killing of more than 4,000 Palestinians who got massacred during the Israeli airstrike. They didn't even call for. They didn't even deny like the collective punishment, the cutting of the water and the electricity, the fuel, the deterioration situation, the deteriorating situation in the hospital and the hospitals. I'm just telling you that we do not have also enough medicine. And in the coming maybe a few hours or a few days, all of the hospitals across the Gaza Strip are going to shut down their doors. They will be put out of services because of the lack of medicine, the lack of basic stuff that every hospital need, the lack or the running out of fuel. So the situation is really dangerous, and you know that half of the population here are from the kids, and even when there is an airstrike or an attack, it is an attack on the children. It's an airstrike on the children of the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, Wafa, that is my question actually. Yeah, that is my question. How the residents are coping with this deadliest bombing, and you guys are having your childrens with you. So you are also in the Gaza right now, right?
Yeah, in Gaza, of course. Actually, like the situation here, I mean, we are trying to survive because we people, we do not like to, as they think that we are terrorists and we deserve to die and so on. Because like since day one, like some of the Israeli officials, they just said that clearly that we are attacking human animals. He just said this about all the people, the Palestinians here in the besieged Gaza Strip. So they mean actually to harm all of the civilians across the Gaza Strip. And in fact, how we deal, because we love life, we don't like to lose our loved ones. We like to live in freedom because we just give up. We just you know, since long years, we have been suffering and witnessing Israeli brutality and oppression. So enough is enough. Now it's the time for Palestinians to defend themselves by themselves, because no one, everyone just turns like a blind eye to our suffering and our misery, which was like in a daily basis by the Israeli occupation. And now, when the Palestinians retaliate and defend themselves, they just they are accused of being terrorists, for just calling for the right for their freedom. uh, and the world only can see what is happening here in Palestine only in October the 7th. They didn't see what had happened to the Palestinians before this date. They have never like heard about the many aggressions that we survived here in Gaza or elsewhere across Palestine in the West Bank or even in Jerusalem. They didn't see that that so many Palestinians got killed in a daily basis in the occupied West Bank when there is no resistance in the occupied West Bank like in Gaza, but they got killed and they got their homes demolished. Also, they got their fields uprooted by the occupation. and they got their even their land stealed by the Israeli settlers. Many times they burn people alive. I mean, the Israeli settlers packed with the Israeli forces, they got burned alive. So many Palestinians, in fact, and no, we didn't hear any of the international voices calling for the right of the Palestinians.
Yeah, Wafa, that's
They
what
all,
I wanted to.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Please finish. Please continue. Please, please.
So back to your question here regarding how we people deal with the situation here. So since we just like to live in a decent life, in a peaceful life, so always we seek for alternatives to survive. So for example, like in the hospitals, because there is no enough medicine, so the medics and the surgeon, they sometimes use their phone flashlights to make any surgery, and also they use vinegar, vinegar along with polluted water from the taps, because the Israeli cut the water since day one, so they
Well, that's
have to use these things in order to clean the wounds, because they have to help to treat the wounded people. And even for the people who here, how can we cope up with the lack of drinking water? We move from one area to another. The people that just walk like nearly more than 1,000 kilometer just to bring some bottle of water for their kids, and their families. So, in fact, some people have generators and others have solar plants. So this thing help kind of like help the people here by operating some generators to just to bring drinking water for some areas, and the other areas just come to from they move from one area to another to bring drinking water. So this is the second thing. Also for the bread, we didn't have also flour, here in Gaza. So just in very rare areas we have. So some people, they help each other and they bake for each other using the oven. I don't know. They just put like a fire, and it's just yeah, it's just operate with fire, with just burning papers and so on, and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they
I
help,
got that.
yeah, for them and
Wafa,
for
could
the
you please?
neighbors
Yeah,
also.
that is totally understandable. Really, very sad to know about all the happening there in Gaza and Palestine.